You walk someone into your home, and before they say anything, you apologize. It's a mess. They haven't reacted. They haven't even looked around yet. But inside, it's already loud. What's wrong with you? Why can't you keep things together? Your chest tightens. You start explaining, fixing the perception before anything has happened. You didn't become your parent. You internalized them. Not in behavior first, in a voice. And by the time it speaks, it sounds like you. For years, you told yourself, I will never be like them. Not critical, not harsh, not shaming, not controlling. You and externally, you kept that promise. Externally. But internally, the structure remained. So now, no one has to criticize you. You arrives there first. No one has to question you. You pre-correct. No one has to shame you. The courtroom is already active inside your body. And this is where high-functioning women get caught. Because it looks like self-awareness, standards, accountability. But that's not what's driving it. It's fear. Fear that if you don't stay ahead of the mistake, you will feel the full weight of it. This is what it looks like in real time. You make a small mistake, and the voice arrives instantly. What's wrong with you? That's a big one. What is wrong with you? You should have known better. That's another big one. And you've heard me repeat it before. That word, should. Here we go again. You are exhausted, but instead of reading that as information, you turn it into evidence. You agree with criticism in the moment, then escalate it later, replaying it internally and adding more. You apologize before anything has actually occurred. Being in Canada, oof, they apologize just because they're walking on the same path as you. And it might sound like I'm exaggerating, but that stood out the most when I first arrived to Canada. I didn't notice it when I was in Canada in 2016, but when I relocated here back in 2020, oof, and it kept, hooking onto my heart. And I'm like, what is happening? Why is this? Why am I having such resistance to, I am sorry? And I'm jumping, bringing something else in. I remember with my own daughter, like the apology would never land. And so I kept seeking for answers, something that, because I could not articulate, but now I can. But before I got to the end result of understanding why it never worked, is that there was another layer playing there. And so I invited my daughter to look at it differently, and I would do the same. Instead of saying, I'm sorry, it's actually asking, what can I do? So in action, what can I do to make this better? Well, for us, that started to shift. And then I realized what it was. It was because I was raised that I had to apologize for my existence. It might sound dramatic, but stay with me. Because of the criticism, because of everything was my fault, that I was told it's your fault that I'm unwell. It's your fault that I'm screaming. It is your fault that I've got high blood pressure. So you go, I'm sorry. You literally are apologizing for your existence. And so the scripts that I have been doing, oh, I just felt that energy. So the scripts I've been doing, they all to shine a light, because that's what I continue to do. The patterns that are self-destructing, their judgment without discernment. So the minute I allowed myself to feel shame, there was no need for it, because now I understand, and now I am supporting myself to do it differently, to help myself move forward, and then not to actually follow through on the promise that I have made, not to break the cycle and not to become that same thing that I'm now unlearning from. But where I am at, once I sat with the pain, I could see that love was present, but that love was so bogged down by all the fear that we as adults give to our children without realizing, or until we do. Okay, I'm going to go back to the script. So, that apology, you apologize before anything has actually occurred. So if I connected the loop, I am jumping again. So now you get to see live. This is me without editing myself. This is how I usually speak. I don't usually do a script, but I have been for the intention to make sure that it's clean, and that you get what you need straight away instead of listening and skipping forward. But for those people that are, okay with it, so stop apologizing for your existence. That's what I've learned was the biggest message that I brought from childhood. Share, please, when you say I'm sorry, what does it mean to you? What do you mean I am sorry? Because the book that I really loved and I've learned a few lessons from, it's from the Course in Miracle, and it says, you are born into the past. And what I mean is that when we are born, how do you know that this is a cup? You were taught as a child that that is a cup. Then you were taught that you can put hot. If you put hot, it's going to be hot. So you actually don't know if this is your thought. That thought was given to you. So I'm sorry, that definition, that story was gifted to you. And then it becomes a pattern, right? And then we sell it as culture. Questioning. And this is where I love studying from different perspectives. So access consciousness is that, who does this belong to? And I do cover that in the courses. Who does this belong to? Worked for me. If you find a different way, please share. Because there's so much abundance in teachings, in experiences are available to all of us. I am sharing what helped me. As I've written in the book, my story, you don't need to resonate with any of it. This is a possibility. That's it. I am running with this possibility. This is me doing my life on this level, on these terms. Okay. Thank you. So coming back, you don't wait to be judged, you prejudge. And that's the pattern, right? So let's get precise. This is internalized authority. From a Jungian lens, these are internal figures: the parent, the critic, the judge, the prosecutor. Those are the roles that are carried. You may have rejected them externally, but internally you kept that voice. And now it runs automatically. And here's the mechanism. Your nervous system learned imperfection has consequences. So the moment something feels off, your body activates. Tight chest, forward pressure, mental scanning. And the prosecutor steps in, not to understand, to control. And here's the distortion. You think this is responsibility. It is not. It is a preemptive self-protection. The pattern that I've noticed within myself is the speed. So notice the speed. You move to correct yourself before anything has actually been confirmed. That's the old contract. If I get there first, I stay safe. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. When something goes wrong, are you trying to become better or trying to avoid being punished? Inside the infinity method, this is where inherited voice separates from internal authority. And here's where this changes. When the voice arrives, you stop treating it as truth and you start treating it as a pattern. You name it. That's the prosecutor. Not emotionally, structurally. Structures, right? What do we do with structures? We can break them and we can recreate them to our liking. And when you interrupt the sequence, when the voice says, "What's wrong with you?" you respond with, "What actually happened?" See the difference? You stay with the behavior, not identity. I missed this. I didn't do that. I will correct it. And then you stop. No escalation, no character attack, no courtroom. And when you catch yourself apologizing before anything has actually happened, you know it. Pause and ask, did something occur, or am I trying to get ahead of judgment? That distinction is where authority returns back to you. This showed up for me recently. I had just finished something not perfect, but complete. And almost immediately, the thought came in, you could have done that better. I felt it in my body, tight chest, slight drop in my stomach. And also, I'm going to point this video that I'm recording right now. I sidetracked, came back, and I'm not going to edit because following through on this as well. Back to the script. My instinct was to reopen it, fix something small, improve one detail so it didn't mean anything. And then I caught it. I said it out loud. It is done. But internally, there was tension. If you leave it like that, it reflects on you. That was the moment. Old pattern. Go back, fix it, improve it. New move, stop. I've closed that file. I'm not going to reopen it. The discomfort actually stayed. Again, the discomfort will be there when you do something new. For a minute, maybe longer. And then it softened. Nothing collapsed. Nothing came back. But something internally shifted. I didn't correct myself. I stayed with myself. So let me leave you with this. When something goes wrong, who speaks first inside you? The prosecutor or the adult? You didn't become them. but you don't have to keep carrying them as your voice. You don't have to earn love to be safe. If this is landing, stay with me.